we go. Welcome to a 1v1 on Kholodny Ferma Summer. This game is Tybo versus LionKing, Oster versus Soviets, Jaeger armor, mobile defense, close air support, guard motor. Oh, I know this one. Guard rifle combined arms, tactics, yes, and mechanized support. Going to see 3 conscript opening. Conscripts splitting between the north and south, and Oster going with 2 grenadiers, heading straight south with all 3 of his squads. Going to try and set up a defense down here. 3rd grenadier squad headed north. First engagement will happen for this strategic point by this conscript fighting position. There's an MG42 in production.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Grenadiers engaging conscripts in that green cover. Have to reposition a little bit so that they can engage optimally. Tybo's taking control of the south victory point, and a 2nd grenadier squad just made it into the conscript's own green cover fighting position. They're probably going to win that engagement, although a 2nd squad of conscripts is moving up to support. I don't know if I think that's medium range or long range. It's kind of a mix between both. I think grenadiers will win that. Conscripts are going to reposition away just to be safe. 2nd squad of conscripts doesn't move to engage here, instead setting up in green cover there, although they're going to be a little bit vulnerable to flanks. This squad of cons is just going to sit there for right now. Molotov research, oh no! Late reaction, really late reaction by Tybo. Fortunately no crits, he could probably get that squad out with no well, now he just took a mono loss. Late retreat, he's going to hold up in the church instead, but he should probably just get out of there. That squad is very hurt. He won't be able to hold the line in the church for long. Tybo's engaging against conscripts in green cover over here. Going to lose that engagement as well. They inflict 1 model loss, but should really retreat. And there they go. Combat engineers taking control of that victory point in the north. This grenadier squad does definitely have to get out of there.
Enemy forces capturing supply
Cut-off maneuver by these 2 Grens, making their way straight north. The victory point's decapped, so that cut-off maneuver will work. Shut down Soviet income for a little while. Squad of conscripts is moving to take control of the center VP now.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
We have it. Incoming fire! Fight for cover, engineer! We are bleeding, comrade!
Molotov cocktail right there.
We are taking losses!
Rifle grenade on those conscripts does pretty good damage. This wire, there's not enough wire here to prevent them from utilizing this cover. Grenadiers are forced to retreat right there. The squad of grenadiers doesn't even have cover. There's another rifle grenade. Will get dodged again. And there's the retreat. I don't even know if that squad's going to get away. That looks like a wipe. Nope. Barely. Barely gets away. Soviet player off to a pretty rough start, though, honestly. Lost control of his cutoff. Doesn't have any map control there in the south. I think engagements have generally gone in his favor, but map control could be a little bit stronger. I guess in part because of his failure to spend manpower as he makes his way towards 5 minutes. His opponent's still spending all his manpower on tech and reinforcement. LionKing up to 500 manpower, because I think he's waiting to get to 2 CP so he can throw some guards on the field. Conscripts are engaging from a position in green cover here by the church. Demo charge on the north side of that green cover, interestingly enough, although I guess there's a pretty decent chance that there will be some grenadiers standing there later in the game.
We will be prevented. Hold the line, engineer!
Okay, Red Wings. Thank you for $1.76 worth of pizza slices. I'll enjoy my, like, 1 piece of pepperoni.
You have orders? Your orders, comrade.
1 squad of conscripts is being sent south to get control of some territory down here, and it will be able to do so unopposed. MG42 engaging here in the center, plus an LMG Gren squad inside the church. And Panzer Grenadiers are making their way towards the middle. Tybo's taking control of this sector. That wounded squad of Grenadiers has to retreat. Conscripts jumping inside this building are not going to last long, especially with Panzer Grenadiers available for that engagement, which should probably move to assist. Apparently not. I guess 2 squads of Grenadiers probably enough to force that retreat anyway. And he wants to send those Panzer Grenadiers to push away the conscripts here on his munitions. Molotov will prevent him from advancing for a little while, though. He's got to take this wide path around, and then he's going to just jump back into the fire anyway. Which he definitely should not have done. That was a terrible engagement. He looks like he might win anyway, though. Maybe. No. It's pretty close. Cutoff maneuver in the north. Looks like it's going to fail. Conscripts move to take control of the center VP. And that squad will retreat despite winning the engagement, which means the munitions will remain in Soviet hands for now. And the Soviet player has gone guard motor and fielded a heavy mortar and a squad of guards. So pretty heavy manpower expenditures into those call-ins, and there goes all of his float. Meanwhile, Tybo will do a little bit of reinforcement and queue up a half-track.
On our territory.
PTRSs and heavy mortars both doing their work well, forcing retreats from both of those Grenadier squads. This squad of Grenadiers is going to work the south munitions. I still don't think there's healing. There it is. Bunker going up in the Oster base for some healing. Half-track on the field to support these Panzer Grenadiers, but he may want to wait for those 2 Grenadier squads, maybe pick them up in the half-track, get them back to the front line quicker. This may or may not hold, depending on Molotovs or just RNG. That Grenadier squad needs to get out of there. Panzer Grenadiers engaging the church. Heavy mortar gets one of them. MG42 continues to just protect the road. Mine on the north church entrance. BTRS is bringing that Panzer Grenadier squad low. Needs to continue moving around, dodging mortars. He just took another huge hit from the heavy mortar, though. That heavy mortar hitting the half-track and infantry formations alike. Looks like the MG is going to jump into the church. Panzer Grenadiers are going to head north with the half-track supporting, and these 2 freshly reinforced Grenadier squads are moving to engage conscripts here in the south.
We've done it.
MG42 is asking to get blasted by that mortar. PTRS is in the church, firing on them as well. That's a full retreat. Here in the north, Pios and half-track are moving to get some territory under control. Get that victory point captured, maybe slow things down. Victory points are still pretty much dead even, 455 to 470. Nobody can set up a triple cap at this stage of the game, really. MG42, or no, Grenadiers engaging conscripts behind there. Sandbag cover right there. Heavy mortars repositioning to a slightly more aggressive location behind these hedges to bombard them out of their positioning cover. Half-track with infantry support wins the engagement for the north and may get the cutoff and fuel captured. Conscripts are going to jump into this house. Nice sweep, by the way, by Tybo's minesweeper right there. He will spot that demo charge. Panzer Grenadiers reinforcing out of the half-track on the cutoff and green cover. Minesweeper is maybe trying to get control of the munitions, but under conscript fire, I don't think that they will succeed. Is he really snipping that wire? Okay, just snipping that wire, apparently. Not really sure what he's doing with that minesweeper. Conscripts moving through the south, start harassing that fuel point. Molotov toss over that hedge on the grenadiers right there. They're gonna have to retreat, especially with those guards shooting at them from inside the church. Panzer grenadiers move to work on the conscripts inside this building from a position in green cover. A fresh squad of guards is fielded to try and push them away, but with half-track support, I think the Panzer grenadiers will win this engagement. Half-track is going to try and push them out of cover really aggressively right there, and those guards will retreat. Heavy mortar fires on some stuff. A little off target though. 2 infantry squads jump into the half-track, which is going somewhere. Wow. He's going to try and kill that heavy mortar, I guess, but I don't think he can. He'll force the retreat. That was sort of good. Is he really going to dive the base right here? Wow, diving into the base with guards in there. What is he thinking here? I don't think that he can possibly succeed with this. Tier 3 structure gets canceled. These 2 squads toss a bundle grenade. Oh no! Grenade toss is huge! Oh my god, on both sides! Wipes right there. This base rush! I've never seen anything like this before! This is devastating! Guards wiped, heavy mortar wiped, combat engineers wiped! What a play! Oh my god! That is going to make the Soviet base very dangerous. Honestly, if I were Tybo, I would crew that mortar and get the hell out of here. Support is on the way to push him out of this base. He's not going to survive this. Conscripts are moving to support. He does successfully retreat the heavy mortar out of the Soviet base and wipe 2 squads of conscripts as well, I think. But he's got a damaged engine on his half-track. He can't stay here forever. There's a fresh guard squad. I'm pretty sure he's going to get forced out soon. Not to mention the Soviet player is taking almost the entire map while this is happening. 1 squad of grenadiers is moving towards the south to get the munitions back. MG-42 moving to protect here in the center. Conscripts in the north taking control of that fuel.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
And there's the retreat. He's got a destroyed engine on the half-track, so I guess that's dead half-track. These 2 guard squads are going to clean up that half-track, but that was a huge win by Tybo.
Headquarters is taking enemy fire.
He killed so much stuff right there.
Construction is complete.
Conscripts throw up some sandbags.
Engineers ready for assignment.
Grab control of this fuel. Grenadiers taking control of the munitions. Rotating squads between these. I guess he wants the munitions to, the LMG equipped squad to move forward a little bit, get the strategic point. The stolen heavy mortar is making its way to the front line to engage. Behind the church with the MG inside, Pios are going to make a play for the center VP. There's guards inside of this building and another squad of guards here behind this truck.
Supply sector under attack.
You need something demolished?
Sandbags are up! And my back is out! Down! Heads down!
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Have arrived!
Grenadiers here taking control of a strategic point.
We have it!
Pios continue to work the center VP. The stolen heavy mortar is pounding the guards out of that building. Fuel cache constructed right there. Combat engineers moving to maybe harass some territory on the right. Panzer Grenadiers with Vet 3, 30 kills after that charge. 30 kills on those Panzer Grenadiers. A Vet 3 that should easily be able to overwhelm this position, even with a Molotov toss, I think. Moving around the north flank, force them from their position and cover. And with LMG Grenadiers from the south, those conscripts are going to get wiped if they don't retreat. There they go. Meanwhile, over here, the heavy mortar continues to engage against these guards. LionKing has almost nothing left at all.
Territory is falling into enemy hands.
Engineers taking losses!
But he is starting to float for his call-ins, which he has the command points for. Tybo, on the other hand, no tech, no commander selection. It looks like he wants to, well, he can't go Tiger, so I guess I'm not really sure what he's going to do with all of his fuel. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't teched yet. Considering his loadout, he definitely should soon. There's Battle Phase 2. It's extremely late.
The enemy has taken
Tybo
our
is going to
supply
field his
sector.
T-34s any second. There they go. Our LionKing will field them. Tybo hasn't really prepared for this. He has one AT gun. No Panzerschrecks on this squad. He has Fausts. But no tech and only one AT gun means those T-34s are going to have a window of opportunity where they're extremely dangerous. They're going to push those two Grenadiers away.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
T-34s are being pretty timid right now and just kind of taking shots at that Grenadier squad and not overcommit to an engagement. There's only one AT gun that can protect against these T-34s though. So far it's missed all of its shots. Second AT gun is on its way. These two T-34s are going to go work the north next, I think. Grenadiers might get wiped on that demo charge if they retreat over it. But he swept that, so he should try and move in such a way so that he doesn't retreat over that demo. I think he knows it's there. Panzer Grenadiers are going to get pushed away first. Panzer Faust first. Don't retreat over that demo. Okay, he's not going to retreat over the demo. I think he remembers that it's there. Repositions a little bit left. That squad retreating first. I don't know why these Grenadiers are sticking around so long. Oh, he rifle grenaded the demo. Well, as cute as that was, it cost him his Grenadier squad. I think he should have just repositioned a little bit left and then retreated through this safe path. But at least he cleaned that demo charge up. T-34 here has a destroyed engine? A destroyed engine from that Panzerfaust. Wow. That might die if AT guns can get in range to destroy it. I don't think you can shoot through this. I could be wrong. Can you? I don't know if shots were going through or not. I don't think so. You can? Okay. I guess that would explain how it has taken so much damage. I don't know where else that damage would have come from unless the demo charge did that. It's trying to self-repair right now. The map is still almost completely red though, and the Soviet player has very little infantry forces remaining with which to take back map control. Most player has gone Jaeger armor. I certainly hope he does not field an elephant though. That would be a horrible mistake on this map against T-34-85s. It kind of looks like that's what he's gonna do though. I don't know. He went battle phase. No, he canceled battle phase 2. I'm pretty sure he's gonna go elephant. I certainly hope that the decision to go elephant does not cost him this game because I don't think it's gonna work very well. But okay. Goes the church, stuck around in there with that machine gun for far too long. Engine damage on that T-34 from a Panzerfaust, but it looks like it's going to get to safety. AT gun doesn't quite have a line. Grenadiers are winning this engagement against those guards. Mortar destroys that mine right there. This T-34 has to pull back a little bit apparently to screen against those Grenadiers. One squad of Minesweeper Pios gets sent south to get control of that strategic point back, give the OSR a little bit more income. Needs to be careful with those AT guns. He's extending them without any spotters and without any support. Probably shouldn't do that. Conscripts moving up to try and push the AT guns away.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Rifle grenade on those conscripts does pretty okay damage. They're probably going to be forced to retreat by those Grens. T-34s moves to push away the Panzer Grenadiers here in the north, and the clock is still ticking against the Soviet players. Tybo has a huge lead right now. I think. The colors are mismatched again, so I'm confused. Right? Yes, Tybo has a lead. Okay. These grenadiers are gonna lose this. They need to retreat.
Guards troops ready for action.
There they go. Could have maybe got the point captured, but whatever. Heavy mortar destroys the fuel cache there in the north. T-34 circles in this direction to engage against the AT guns. And stolen mortar. T-34 going in hard. May force some retreats. That AT gun needs to set up and start firing. Grenadiers trying to get in range for engine damage, but that T-34 will be able to pull back to safety. Second T-34 circling around towards the center. There is a teller mine right there. I really don't know what Tybo is doing. Okay, there's Battle Phase 2 again. I guess he changed his mind about going elephant.
Squads can now be called to fight for the motherland.
I think. I don't know. He's 23 minutes into the game and he hasn't used any commander features or any tech beyond Tier 2, so he's kind of taking his time on letting his strategy evolve here. It's 23 minutes into the game and he had great map control. It's kind of a shame to see Oster get to 350 fuel and not utilize any of it. There's Battle Phase 3. He's going to try and go straight for Tier 4 and maybe get a Panther out. Panthers are very pop-cap efficient against 85, so that'll be good, but it's going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of manpower.
The sector is at risk. The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Guards reporting. Capture complete.
There go those grenadiers. Guards set up in green cover here. Things are pretty quiet. Two squads of infantry gonna make a push for this point. They should win. Those guards are pretty wounded.
Enemy infantry has our range. We are losing them. They killed Yevgeny.
Stolen mortar is bombarding those guards. They will take control of the munitions. Panzer Grenadiers winning this engagement against those guards. This is the second time he did that exact maneuver and wiped a squad standing in those sandbags. LionKing really needs to stop losing full squads in these flank engagements. He's currently operating on 3 guards, 2 T-34s, slowly taking back map control. He's got both munitions points, so that's pretty good. Grenadier squad moving south. Probably going to get pushed back by those conscripts. They don't have an LMG, and there's T-34 available in the area as well. There's the Tier 4 structure from Tybo, finally. Even after building that, he's got 350 fuel in the bank. That is how incredibly late his Panther has been this game.
Now this land belongs to the Soviet people. We are taking losses. Enemy fire. T-34 here. Land down.
T-34 pushes away the Grenadiers right there. AT guns find a bit of an opening on that T-34. It's gonna get away though. If it had hit that mine, that would have been a dead tank for sure. Exposed itself just a little bit.
We can't be promoted.
Guards should spread out. They're taking heavy mortar fire. Oh my god, that was a huge heavy mortar hit. Flamethrower might force a full retreat in conjunction with that heavy mortar shot. If it would fire. Oh, they don't have a flamethrower, they have a TP machine gun. I was like, why aren't they firing that flamethrower? They have a DP machine gun. Well, both of those guards forced to retreat regardless with a rifle grenade from the LMG Grenadiers down here. Pretty bad engagement for LionKing thanks to that miracle heavy mortar shot.
Supply sector under attack.
Grenadiers taking control of the center VP. These Grenadiers making their way north to engage
The
against
enemy has taken our supply
something.
sector.
Soviet player has taken back full map control with the 2
The enemy
T-34s.
still has 300 points.
Victory points are pretty even, and I think we're going to see a Tier 4 unit pretty soon. This ridiculous amount of fuel float, though. Most player would be doing so much better if he had just teched up. Or just spam Tigers, whatever. Unfortunately, he went Jaeger armor, and I still don't think he's used a single feature of this commander.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
We have been spotted!
Minesweeper spots that Teller mine in the middle. T-34-85 makes its way south to engage against those Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers engage against these guards, or maybe winning? I don't know. They have yellow cover. As long as no PTRS shots hit, they'll probably be okay. Second set of T-34s is on the field now, though, and Tybo still hasn't spent any fuel. It's going to take him a long time to outproduce T-34s with Panthers at this rate. He needs to get out 2, basically. I don't know if he could survive against 4 T-34s with his current forces, and he's just lost so much manpower. Mono losses are pretty even on both sides, honestly. Panzer Grenadiers are going to be forced to retreat right there. T-34 will hit that Teller mine, though. That's engine damage on that. T-34 moving in from this flank to clear out that AT gun. This T-34 needs to pull back to safety. This AT gun will get cleared. Grenadiers trying to get in range for Panzerfaust on something. This T-34 chasing a Panzer Grenadier squad down. Really nice split engagement with his tanks. When he does hit a mine, he pulls it back to safety, and the other 3 successfully wrap up a lot of priority targets. The 2 with full health still on the front line, wiping a Grenadier squad right there, easily punishing the fact that he's so not ready for them. Even 30 minutes into the game, he's not ready for T-34s. Panther's hitting the field now, but it's so late. It's a 30-minute Panther.
Our T-34s have been outfitted with 85mm guns. We will follow their tracks to victory.
Finally hits that Teller mine, even though he swept it earlier. Hit it anyway. That's got a destroyed engine. Grenadiers forced to retreat. Fresh squad of Grenadiers moving up. There's the Panther. Immediately takes engine damage from a conscript squad right there. Panther reversing back to base for some much needed repairs. Honestly, Tybo has a pretty okay victory point situation. He's still got 200 more to go, even though he's lost all of his AT guns. He does have 300 fuel reserves. He could just retreat back to base, wait until he has 3 Panthers, and then push. When he can't wait any longer on VPs, might be able to make something happen. If he doesn't do that and engages with this Panther solo, it'll probably just get marked and destroyed by the T-34 swarm. I don't know. He has to think carefully about his next move. He can't really afford to bleed or lose any more stuff.
Mines all set. Structure complete. T-34 under enemy fire.
And they're moving to engage against that T-34 in the south. He still doesn't really have anything, and that Panther should not be parked sideways right there with T-34, 3 T-34s in the fog of war that could come from anywhere and just swarm him to death. I really think that the Soviet player could win this game just by driving up to that Panther and killing it. All Grenadiers will be forced back into the base. just bleeding manpower that he can't afford to lose, by the way. He can't be bleeding manpower on his infantry squads to take 0 territory when he still needs to spend the rest of his fuel. He can't get his fuel down. Here comes the final charge by the Soviet player. This is probably GG, honestly. Sweet revenge for that half-track diving into his base.
The enemy is down 100 points.
Yeah, that's definitely the game. The Oster player has absolutely nothing that can survive against this. I really have to say this is Tybo's own fault. That's definitely the game. That is the game. Panther's going to go down to these 1434s. T-34s are going to wrap up all infantry. The map is completely in Soviet control. There goes the Panther. If Tybo would have just prepared better for this by spending his fuel and taking up so much quicker, he could have had a Panther on the field when there were 2 T-34s, and he didn't get one out until there were 4 T-34s, and then he never even spent the whole rest of his fuel. He also made 0 use of his commander whatsoever to do anything. So, a lot of mistakes by Tybo, who lets a really strong early advantage slip through his fingers, and that's the game. GG.